Hi! Ooh. Hello, my little cronies and not cronies. Old cronies, just cronies. I'm totally unprepared to do another video. I've not given it that much thought, which is probably something you shouldn't say, but I haven't. But I'm just going to do another one. And in keeping with the sunny weather and my bright top, I'm going to do a video about positive steps. So things that you can do that might help get you in a little bit of a more sunny mind frame. I try and keep things on like my Instagram so positive, don't want to plague everyone with all the bad stuff all the time, but I am also a realist, even though I try to be an optimist. I think it's just about finding that balance. Anyone who reads my blog will know that I've been quite open recently with admitting that I've been struggling with kind of the darker side of Crohn's, and a lot of the mental battles that you go through. It is good to know that not everyone is sunshine and rainbows all day every day, but equally good not to get too stuck in a rut and to try and help yourself out of dark places if you can. So I've come up with 5 tips of, I guess, my advice on how I would help anyone try and see the positives a little better. Like if you were my friend, these are the kind of things I'd probably say to you. So number 1 is talking. This is by far the most important. I think when you have an illness such as Crohn's or anything that's going on in your life that's not necessarily the best thing ever, we are very good becoming very introvert and putting up a million walls, a million barriers, and kind of shutting down and not really acknowledging what's going on, and maybe being a little bit afraid to talk to people about it. I mean, I am so guilty of that. It's like, oh, bad news, goodbye. Goodbye life. Don't want to talk to anyone about it. I'm just going to sit here and fake smile until my face hurts. Anyway, it's very easy when you're kind of going through something not ideal to try and think, oh no, I know, if I bury my head in this pile of sand, it's going to go away. I'm really bad at doing that for kind of any problem in my life, mostly financial, but I'll get myself into a situation that is not cool, and instead of facing it head on and dealing with it, I will just try and ignore it and hope that it goes away. But reality check, ignoring the problem does not make it go away. In fact, it often makes it worse. It's like when you have a lunchbox full of food and you're like, oh, I'm gonna leave that in the fridge because I'm gonna eat that tomorrow. And you leave it and you forget about it for a week, and then you see it when you open up the fridge and it's still there and it's now growing mold. Instead of, taking it out and dealing with it like a normal person, just put it back to the back shelf, shut the fridge. Miraculously in my head, because I'm not looking at the problem isn't there. A month or 2 down the line, you're doing the communal house fridge clean, and you're the one that's now going to deal with it, and it's 10 times worse than if you'd have just chucked it away 4 weeks ago. As I'm saying that, I realise I've got a lot of food in the fridge that has gone off. So yeah, backtrack to the point of this, talking to people. I find it so helpful in the world of Crohn's. Being able to talk to people about it and be open about it actually makes it so much easier to deal with. Like, oh, if you don't tell me, I can't help you. And that is so, so true. Rather than kind of becoming isolated with the problem, find someone who you can talk to, and people are so much more accepting than you might give them credit for. For me to be able to say, oh my God, I was on the toilet 12 times last night, this happened, this came out, I actually took a picture, do you want to see? That helps me accept what I'm going through and find some light and some humour in it. It makes me feel less like I'm carrying this massive weight alone. But if you're not that kind of person, and probably thank God that there aren't any more of me, because well, it would be bad. Try and look up online communities and support groups of people who are going through exactly the same thing as you, and therefore will find it a lot easier to relate, and you won't feel as awkward maybe in sharing your experiences. So many people are doing so many amazing things. I remember when I first got Crohn's, I think I literally had searched like #Crohn's, and there are so many amazing people doing so many amazing things. There are so many groups, there's charities like Crohn's and Colitis UK, even just to kind of acknowledge one another and find inspiration from them. If you've got problems and you're thinking, oh, I'm not sure if this is normal, I don't feel like anyone gets me, I don't feel like anyone understands me, I can promise you that you're actually not alone, and there will be someone who will relate to you and can help you. And once you've spoken about it once or twice, it's very easy to then talk about it a little bit more. Maybe you could then talk to your friends about it, or your family, or maybe talk to your pet about it. The pet is not going to judge you, okay? Gordon the golden retriever is there for you. He has your back. Number 2, put your energy to better use. There are some days, especially with Crohn's, where you are pretty much debilitated and you are in bed or you're on the toilet or a mixture of the two, and you are full of kind of negative energy and anger and annoyance, whilst also being completely and utterly drained and exhausted. And it's a very weird headspace to be in. I think for a little while I was just angry and aggressive. I don't know what it was, but something clicked in me and I thought, oh, why don't I take all of this energy and try and channel it to something better? And that's why I made this channel. But there's so many other things you can do. If you've got days where you're lying in bed and you're like, this is awful, lying here every day, what do you like to do? Do you like writing? Because that's a really good time to put pen to paper. How old school, like get a laptop. Do something that makes you feel good about yourself. If you're into music, compose something. I mean, point is, when you're feeling low and when you're feeling crappy and like the world has defeated you, it's very easy to kind of accept that and say, oh, woe is me, and be defeated. We've all been there. I'm like that still. That some days you just feel shit. You want to listen to some Dido and cry. I get it, I've been there. But there is a flip side to everything, and it's not healthy to be like that constantly. Do something that you enjoy, but also that you're capable of doing. There's no point saying, oh, I've got to take the week off work because I don't feel well, I'm going to build a house instead. Realistic goals, people, is if you can, try and take negative situation and put a positive spin on it. So much easier said than done, but if you're able to do it, you will feel so much better about yourself. And talking about yourself, number 3, love yourself. So I'm reading this book at the moment that my sister bought for me. You Are a Badass, which is fitting for Crohn's, if you get what I mean. It is fantastic. In every chapter it does summarise with love yourself, which is a little bit let's stroke the grass. But actually the messages are so clear. It makes me realise that if you don't look after yourself, love yourself in whatever way that means, positive reinforcement will make you feel 10 times better. If you smile like nicely and normally, your brain can't decipher whether it has made that smile or if you have made that smile. So if it's a fake smile or a real smile, smiling makes you feel a little bit better about yourself. It sends all those crazy hey hormones, endorphins around your body. Crohn's makes them feel like they're not themselves anymore because they have to live slightly differently and think about things slightly differently. But as soon as you can kind of think, okay, yes, I have Crohn's does not define me, accept it because you have it, and then think, how can I still be great? How can I go back to being Lois? You know what I'm saying? The value of being able to put yourself first and be able to things that make you happy is priceless. So if you can, find a way to love yourself. What am I talking about? Number 4, get your medication right. This might seem like a simple one, but it is often very easier said than done, especially with something like Crohn's or colitis. Finding that medication that is right for you is tiresome and long. Often with a lot of people, your medication could work for a couple of months and then see ya, don't like you anymore. Dry mouth. Dry mouth. It's very important. I unfortunately get a lot of messages from people who are either not on any medication or are not on a medication that kind of works for them. I get it, it's an uphill struggle and it's very, very tough. None of these points in this video are to be said lightheartedly. I'm not being like, oh, it's so easy to be positive and to feel good about yourself. I know it's not. I just want to say these things to make sure that people are helping themselves. There was a long time, when I first got diagnosed, a bit in the denial stage, very anti taking medication. I think I went through a phase where I didn't take it, I refused to take it. I kind of dug my heels in. I was like, no, I am stronger than this medicine. I am stronger than this inflammatory bowel disease. Unfortunately, and I mean one day I would love to be, but I am not. And since going on the right medication for me, I feel 10 times better. And yeah, I'm not perfect, I'm not fixed, I'm not cured, but I am in such a better place. And once you're able to kind of get on with your life as much as you can without your illness constantly knocking you over like a wave. I'm that girl who gets knocked over by waves. I think if you're on a medication that isn't quite right for you, go to your hospital, go to your doctor and tell them, and don't rest until they can find something that works for you. Whatever it is, whatever solution, find what's right for you. It's your body, and so once your body starts to feel a bit better, mentally you start to feel a bit better too. It's all nice, intrinsically linked, fits nicely together. The kind of summary, big kahuna of tips is number 5, treat your body well. I find my kind of mental health very much linked, obviously, to how I'm feeling, actually with what I'm doing with myself. So I'm not a gym person, I don't love exercise, I'm not a keep fit, be fit, kale, spinach loving person. That's not my vibe. However, I do feel like when I am looking after my body a little bit better, it repays so much, and actually it helps me feel more positive about things. When I feel more positively about things and I want to look after myself more, and it's like this lovely, glorious, glowing bubble of good. And I mean vice versa, when I'm feeling terrible, I treat myself terribly. When I treat myself terribly, I feel terrible. Getting that horrible vicious cycle into like a positive circle instead. So, you know, things that you can do to treat your body better. I think exercising, hashtag fit goals, spinach squad, I don't know, but for people like me who actually aren't really into fitness, who don't love going to the gym, that's quite a hard thing to do, especially with Crohn's and, you know, anything relating to your gut, your bowel and all that kind of stuff. Often doing cardio and putting your body through those motions makes it worse. But if you're able to gently get your body moving, it does the world of good. Find something that you don't hate and get into it. In other things you can do to make the body feel better, maybe eat a little bit better. Salads and vegetables and raw things can really upset your stomach, but it doesn't mean to say that you have to eat deep fried fatty foods all the time. Finding that balance of being slightly more conscious, being slightly healthier, will in turn make you feel a lot better about yourself. And also being kind on your body. Your body is the only thing you have. It's very easy to feel let down by your body when you have a chronic illness, because it's like, well, you don't work properly, why should I love you? I think it's very easy to not respect your body and to sometimes almost spite it. I think when I was first diagnosed, I was like, well, I'm going to be pooing all the time anyway, so I might as well, you know, have 15 nuggets, 12 burgers, chips, with a side of chips. You know, it's all going to come out anyway, so what's the point? But actually you get over that, and there is a lot of point, because yes, okay, whatever you eat, I come straight through you, but this is the only life that you've got, this is the only body that you've got, and this is the only mind that you've got. And so it's up to you how you want to go about the world, how you want to view the world, how you want the world to view you. You are kind of the only one who can do anything about that. And although that's very blasé and very kind of preachy, I do believe that you can help to change your perspective on things. I think deep down on the whole, it's about finding what makes you happy. Whether that's eating 12 cakes, going to 12 gym classes, writing 12 pages of a book, talking to 12 strangers about how many times you went to the toilet that day and what colour it was. Finding things that make you feel a little bit more confident and a little bit more positive in what you're doing is gold dust. What I would really like to hear though, your tips. Like, you might be sitting there like, girl, what you talking about? It's quite nice to know what other people do. Comment below and share. I'm sure other people would find it really helpful. I'm very contactable. Easily accessible, like all toilets should be. Oh my god! I'm sitting so funny, my back hurts a lot. So yeah, hopefully I'll do another video soon. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks. I need to go lie down. That hurts my back.